Hello and welcome back to Tsukihime. My name is Maybe Dennis, and last time we finished off Ciel's normal route. Yeah, we basically woke up, found ourselves in the hospital, and Arihiko's visiting, and we're like, yeah, we've been out for a month, you're kind of alright now, you didn't die, so you're good to go. So we end up going back home, kind of just living our lives, and we go back to school. When we go to school, we meet with Arihiko and Ciel. Yeah, she seems to be doing all right, but everything's a little bit foggy. It's unusually bright, and the more we talk with her, we're like, wait, something's wrong. There are a lot of inconsistencies, and something's just not right. Ciel's father should be dead. She shouldn't be here in the first place. There's like not that much damage from the fight. We should be like in a relationship. Something's definitely wrong. And then we find out that everything's just a dream. Ciel has already, passed away because she gave her life in order to save Shiki, and that's kind of how the route ends. And it's very, very sad, depressing, because Ciel died. And we had a really cool post-credit scene where basically Shiki discovers what he wants to do in life. He wants to live it to the fullest, decides to do pretty much make up for all the things that Ciel wanted to do. And so he lives out the rest of his high school life and decides to join the church afterwards. And he's probably going to be an executor, and he's going to spend the rest of his life trying to find a way to bring Ciel back, because I don't know if that's what she would have wanted, but at the least that's what Shiki wants to do. So yeah, it's very depressing, but honestly, it's a very cool concept, thinking of basically executor Shiki. I bet there's a lot of art for that, because I'm sure this ending was came out 20 years ago, so a lot of people are probably interested in that. But today I am going to do basically the true ending, maybe, or at least start it. We're supposed to go back to when we interact with Arcueid, and where she was like, be mine, please. So yeah, let's get into it. She deserves an honest answer. I can't turn my back to her. No, you see, the last time I decided to be your servant, shit went down. So this is apparently the true route. I also I ended up doing a little bit of quote-unquote research to see how to get the true route proper. And so yeah, this is gonna lead to it, but the thing is, apparently there is a pretty chunky scene that gets cut out if you don't have maximum Arcueid points. And I'm like, oh damn it. Previously in the ending it said, oh, you'll just get an extra sentence or two, but if it's a complete scene, I'm just like, man, I kind of don't want to miss that. And I don't know if I have maximum Arcueid points, so I'm like, oh, do I go back or what? So I decided I'm gonna play it out, and if I happen to miss that scene, I'll make a decision whether or not to just look up a YouTube video of it for personal reasons and just link it, or if I might go back and redo the route and try to get maximum Arcueid points on my own. Oh, it really sucks that you have to go through the entire game again in order to get it if you miss it, but it do be like that. I just really hope I made the right decisions. Anyways, yeah, I can't turn my back on her. She doesn't want to kill me. No! She's let her guard down. The armor of her perfection is cracking. I can hear the desperation in her voice. But that's all the more reason not to agree. I can't let her do this. Not because I resent her for it, but because she's making a critical mistake.
Shiki.
No! She gazes earnestly into my eyes. Pinned underneath her, all I can do is stare back, fiercely enough to set my mind aflame. At what, until now, I was trying not to see. Whoa! A snapping sound echoes deep within my head. This time, it is not the sound of my skull fracturing, but my brain itself ripping apart. I stare at her as though this were the last moment of quiet left in the world. Her entire form is too much to take in. Instead, I hone my gaze into a single point. There, a weak, vulnerable midpoint between the heart and mind. Or going back to the Arcueid route. She's yeah. Her eyes widen with delight. To her, my words surely shone brighter than the brightest star. But I'm sorry, Arcueid. My confession meant nothing. An admission of love under the threat of death won't bring you the happiness you seek. He's gonna say, but Once, a moonlit flower smiled at me with the night at her back. If my feelings for her are true. But... my forehead burns. Through the molten slurry that was once my brain. Oh, I make out a solitary line of death. He's still able to see that even though... Huh. I thought last time we managed to make a weakness in her, like on her neck because she reacted very poorly, but this time it's the opposite. She's happy. I don't think... I didn't think that the line would appear. Maybe that's what throbbing in Shiki's head is. It's his brain going into overload, trying to find a way to kill her. Oh. Oh, I think that's gonna hurt her more. Whoosh! Arcueid's eyes blaze with sudden fury. But before she can act on it, whoosh! Oh, and it turns red like before. My knife traces the line across her throat. I don't really know what difference we made. I mean... At the very least, in this ending, Arcueid knows that Shiki still likes her. In the other one, she's like, do you hate me now? And I'm not sure if that's going to make any difference. I don't really get it. But yeah, we're in Ciel's POV this time. So I don't think I should look at the chart. I'm afraid. A shadow flits above the muted activity of the residential district. The executor races through the city at breakneck speed, tracing a path through its forgotten corners where only the birds hold vigil. Her face is drawn, her breathing ragged. Executor Ciel would face down a dead apostle without batting an eyelid, but the trepidation she feels now is far beyond that. Yeah, it's not your average dead apostle. The fuck are you doing, Shiki? From roof to roof she leaps. From building to building she bounds. She eschews the terrestrial road, barreling through the night sky as the crow flies through the source of this fearful presence. She only notices a change a few minutes prior. It happened on her way back from the church. As her taxi pulled off the freeway into Soya, she sensed something irreversible had happened to the young man in her care. The city below is sound asleep. No Maytrap or curse suffuses the air. The magical energy in the atmosphere feels broadly ordinary, but a pervasive wrongness surrounds the town nonetheless. She can feel it on her skin. Oh, something look at that swirling. Like a cocoon, like a veil. An unthinkable powerful presence is twisting reality, as though forcing it to conform with some great will. It is said, a true ancestor's thought is the world's command. In the records of the church, she has read of such mystics. He's freaking chopped up in at least 5 pieces because his 4 limbs were scattered apart. In her growing apprehension, she curses her superior. Though she may not trust him, acting prelate Mahoyo is her only remaining ally, or was until he went silent. His executors, too, have made no move. The news that they were retired from duty the previous night has yet to reach her. Yeah, they're not gonna come and help. She hides her churning thoughts beneath a calm veneer. What is happening on this night? She has no way to know. As to who is responsible, however, she has no doubt. To some extent, she expected this. That her mortal enemy might come and claim her life in one last hunt.
Arcueid!
Channeling her unease into greater speeds, she streaks towards the true ancestor at the epicenter of the wrongness. She can reroute to retrieve her 7th holy scripture, where her mind banishes the thought. Every instinct screams that if she employs her usual cold efficiency and prioritizes victory over her charge's life, she will lose all that she holds dear. Huh? Okay. Her magically augmented vision picks out her target. She can still make it. She still has time. But just as the light of hope kindles in her eyes. What the fuck is that? Picasso, I didn't know you were here. I mean, sorry, Van Gogh, I didn't know you were here. What? Oh, is that fucking... It's a thing that attacked Ciel on the roof in Arcueid's route when she was trying to basically set up a sneak attack on Roa. I recognize those swirly missile cannon. Yeah, it's that thing again. Impossibility bars her way. We're gonna have it cling to the side of a building, so we only need to change the building and not the pose that this thing is occupying. To the side of the building it clings, a grotesque silhouette poised motionlessly on the face of a concrete wall. So this is definitely Dr. Rock's creation, now that we know that she's up to some weird shit. Its skin is tough yet supple, like leather or tree bark. Its abdomen is grossly distended. 6 legs sprout from its I don't know these words! Tumescent gut. A mass of claws, or perhaps fangs, grow from its shoulders, so large they could be a dinosaur's. Its lower back resembles that of a spider. Its upper body is almost human. The 8 eyes that dot its face are unmistakably arachnoid. Yet strangest of all, a muddled awareness oozes from the aberration, one that is neither murderous nor hostile. Oh, it feels very modern art. Perhaps it's from the shock of the encounter, or simply the monster's grotesque form. But in this moment, Ciel senses that catastrophe is inevitable. I honestly did not expect this thing to make a reappearance. And the fight is over within a minute. Ciel held nothing back in the true sense. Fuck this thing. We don't have time for this. Abandoning her human values, the most foundational principles of war, and even the basic notion of survival, she devoted herself completely to eliminating her foe. Wow, that thing got fucking destroyed. In other words, hell-bent on mutual destruction, she fights until both she and the enemy are in a bloody ruin. Oh man, she went full offense because she knows she can't die. And now that thing is freaking dismantled. The monstrosity bursts apart, or rather fragments, and begins to disintegrate from inside out. Ciel's black keys laid its hulking form to waste. 96% of its surface area had been pierced, scorched, blasted off, or otherwise prevented from regenerating. An arm lock tore off its colossal left arm. And 50-ton bare-knuckle impact to its unprotected breastbone finished it off. Despite its presumable immortality, the sheer extent of the damage left the beast no choice but to retreat. Its fate was sealed the moment Ciel, a true immortal, capable of unlimited regeneration, drew it to a contest of endurance. That is true. Ciel, however, does not escape unscathed. The creature inflicted no damage to her body, but leaves her spirit in rags. Dr. Rock, what you doing? Nature could not have birthed such a beast. Some dead apostles find amusement in transfiguring humans with infusions of their blood, but not to that extent. It could only be a parting gift from Roa. Perhaps he spent one of his many lives researching the fusion of humans and animals. A fist seems close around her heart at the thought. What if... Oh, a fist seems to close around her heart, that's what... What if she were to plumb to the depths of Roa's knowledge? Might she learn to produce similar... Nope, let's not think about that right now. As blood surges once more through her fleshy, regenerated body, she reminds herself of her mission. The nameless monstrosity is only a distraction. Hey, look, a distraction! Oh! Her true foe is the most sublime of all destinies. A beautiful beast locked in battle with the one that she cherishes most. The Executor again takes to the air. A world unto itself envelops Soya like a cage. And none know better than she the imaginable despair it portends. Or it portends. God damn, I'm really messing up some of these words. Ooh. Suddenly, I'm free. Arcueid slumps on top of me, and unmoving, cutting her line of death must have incapacitated her. I'll get something similar, I think. I take the opportunity to extract myself from her clutches and back away while I still can. With her weight off of me, I can finally breathe. My shoulders heave as I try to calm my hammering heart and throbbing brain. I need to run, but first I have to gather my strength. Knowing Arcueid's regenerative abilities, she'll get back up and come at me any second. Oh, her pose is a little bit different. I don't think I saw the CG last time. Arcueid's arms splay wide beneath her own weight. She collapses face first onto the stone pavement, looking for all the world like she's sleeping. It's a lot closer this time. I freeze as I catch a glimpse of the wet scarlet. I expected blood. I know what it means to cut a throat, but I never imagined she would kneel over so easily like she was human.
Arcueid.
That isn't the only abnormality. Crimson blood, rich as wine, flows across the ground. The warm red liquid is both Arcueid's vital essence and a gaping wound in the world itself. Slowly but steadily, the pool swells. It seeps into Arcueid's clothing, staining her ethereal white a gruesome red. I've seen this sight before. The puddle of blood with its dull, wet gleam. I knew he was gonna do that. No, not again, no! Did I kill her? I couldn't have, could I? No way, that's crazy, that's crazy! This isn't like last time, seeing that lion took all I had. And thanks to my vampiric senses, I know with terrifying precision just how vast the gulf between our abilities is. That slash was only meant to slow her down for a second. There's no way it would have killed her. And you're goddamn right, Shiki. Oh, we're gonna get the...
Arcueid!
Repressing my instinct to run away, I take a step closer and my breath catches. Her arm jerks. With an unnatural lurch, a single arm plants itself to the ground like a spider's spinally limb. Oh, the text is blue this time. She speaks not through the words or telepathy, but breath. Through her will fused with the natural world. Oh, it's red now. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is really weird. So last time, she was bursting with anger at the fact that Shiki killed her again. And she basically said, I'll fucking kill you. But now she's like, Shiki still likes me. And I kind of like this. This is what got me obsessed with him in the first place. So... this is love. Oh, there are two vampires in me. One is saying, yeah, this is love. One is saying, but we gotta kill him because he can't be mine. Twice, again. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is different. I hear a sound, like reality creaking under some great strain. It seems to come from afar, yet right beside my ear. I know it well. It's the sound of a life torn asunder. So it could only have been the death knell of the world. Oh, it's still this part. But we got to hear her thoughts this time. That's interesting. Warm breath and hot blood spill from her throat. Her arm trembles as she forces herself up. Scarlet pours over the ground in ceaseless torrent. Her body silently peels itself off the slick stone. Her head rises from the pool of blood. I glimpsed her eyes through the matted blonde hair. I was distracted. The colors going all over the place. Their socket are sunken hollows of a corpse, when their depths rage crimson fire. Ooh, this is different. We got animation. What in the hell? All around me, pavement, street lamps, buildings, every human work upon the surface tumbles towards her. Yeah, you can see the floor literally being sucked to her. Wow. I'm sure the animation will repeat once I leave this long enough, but still, that is quite something. Like wallpaper torn down, like a coat of paint dissolving, like the world is being flayed of its skin. All of creation sees its essence to her grasp. Loftily, she proclaims that which I cannot comprehend. Holy fuck! She shut down the entire city. Behold, this the power of the true ancestors, sensory receptors of the planet itself. This is the marble Phantasm, the authority to reshape the world as we see fit. The city is finished. This land is finished. The building and beast shall be transformed, planned to 2 dimensions, and swallowed, all phenomena converted and contained. Now comes the inner sea of the planet, grown wild and free, for leaving the man behind. Praise it, fear it, offer your lives to it. Your world now teeters on the brink, and soon it shall invert. Oh man. Okay. The worst you can say is no. oh no, man. Her eyes stare wildly at nothing. Too weak to get up using that one hand, she splashes gracelessly back into the pool of blood. She pushes herself up, slips, flops back down. This is exactly what happened to the other one, except this time she's just deploying her marble Phantasm for some reason. Every time a little more red stains her body. Like this text is the same as the normal route. Again she tries, again she fails. She almost seems to take pleasure in the pitiful spectacle. Just you wait. Ugh. I can't move. Arcueid's voice, her person, her will flood unstoppably into my mind. The torrent seizes my fragile ego, swamps it, and drowns it. The world spins round and round. As I struggle against the vortex, her thoughts enter my brain. Never have I suffered such humiliation. Never have I endured such disgrace. Ah, how delightful. To level this burning rage on Shiki. Oh, it would be marvelous. It would feel wonderful. I would give the world for the pleasure. Oh, such joy, such joy, such joy. I can't hold back. I won't let go. I can't wait anymore. I want to see it. The moment I tear him from limb to limb, crack open his rib cage, pull out his entrails, crush the pleas from his throat, saw open his skull, and paint the ground with his brains. Arcueid thrashes about in a pool of her own blood, laughing like a woman gone mad. I can't move. This is bad. My soul is frozen from the inside out. Staying here can only mean certain death. I have to get out of this place. Anywhere will do. Anywhere, so long as it isn't here. I don't know, man. If she deploys her marble Phantasm, she literally owns this place. Here is her. But my legs are frozen stiff. The world has ceased to exist. It's my fault, in a form and function, or rather, all function has been stripped away, leaving only shadows behind. The buildings, the people, everything squashed into a flat sheet and peeled off the face of the earth. In the remaining wasteland, only she and I are left standing. She has no intention of stashing me away like the rest. She won't show me that mercy. She singled me out so that she can personally tear me apart. The rest she disposed of, tossing it into that hole of a world, leaving me alone in this corpse of a city. Everything I did was pointless. Every aspiration I had, meaningless. I imagined myself the city's savior, only to become its murderer. Even if my legs could move, I have nowhere to run. Do I get it now, I wonder? That I'm going to die no matter what I do?
Tohno-kun! 何してるんですか? こっちです!
Yay, she's here! The voice. The voice breaks me free from the terror's grasp.
先輩!
いいから、早く逃げるんです! 彼女の蘇生が終わる前に、早く!
Woo! As I stare stunned, Ciel grabs me by the arm and leaps high into the air. We fly over the rooftops and land atop a tall building. She hits it running and leaps to the next. It's just like the night I soared above the city in Arcueid's arms. The only difference is that this time I can match my escort stride for stride. Energized by my fight with Arcueid, my transformation, Roa's corruption, is accelerating by the second. Woo!
先輩、どうして?
どうしても何も聞きたいのはこっちです。
What happened to the space-time continuum, and this time it's very visible.
あれほど部屋から出ないでくださいと言ったのに、どうして外でアルクエイドと会ってたんですか、トーノ君の浮気者。
Hey, I only told her that I like her. I'm sorry, that I prefer you instead. There we go. Don't we have a bigger problem on our hands?
部屋から出たのは謝ります。でも誤解ですから。どうしても耐えられなくて、外に出たらアルクエイドがいて、あいつ自分のものになれとか妙なことを言い出して。
言い訳は後でたっぷりしてもらうにして。
Come on.
今は急いで。
I mean, you can tell by what happened that I rejected her. Otherwise, she wouldn't be like that, and the world would probably still be less distorted.
先輩、前!
Oh shit, she's summoned in the castle. A great wall, looking for all the world like it belongs to a medieval castle, suddenly rises before us. With no way to change direction in midair, we're locked into a collision, of course.
トーノ君、口を閉じて。
Okay, so this is where it really differs. Because we are in a space that we cannot escape. Last time Ciel got her, I think her 7th holy scripture or whatever, and like nailed her to the ground. But this time, yeah, that didn't happen. No, never mind. I don't think it was her 7th holy scripture. I think it was just a giant stake. By the way, yeah, she was able to do that last time. This time, I don't know why she ended up encountering the amalgamation creature. Maybe she did last time, but we just didn't see it, and this time they decided to show it. But the major difference is like the difference in Arcueid's mindset to basically completely trap Shiki instead of just try to kill him, and that caused this Marvel Phantasm to be produced, and yeah, so they can't really escape. But still clutching my arm, Ciel kicks hard against the wall. Her boot clacks harshly on the stone. She redirects her momentum into a sideways wall run, avoiding a direct impact. The world around me may have gone mad, but Ciel seems to be doing her best to give it a run for its money.
先輩、これ何ですか?
What the hell is this?
今のどう見ても城の壁でしたけど.
Come on, Shiki, you've seen this a lot in your memories of Roa's memories.
アルクエイドの空想具現化です。こんな大規模なもの、私も初めて見ました。
It's the Marble Phantasm. I just want to appreciate this a little bit. I mean, you've seen this before, but like never like this. It looks like a winter wonderland, and honestly, I know it's not right, but it actually kind of reminds me of the amusement park from Mahoyo. It's very different, but I don't know. Why would the wall? Why would like the railings be slanted that way? It's like a roller coaster.
急ぎます。この規模ではあと数分で街がなくなってしまう。
Shorn of both its surface and insides, the cityscape has become a forest of shadows. Above it, piece by piece, an enormous castle takes form. Like, that castle has to be really, really fucking large. Just imagine. A freaking skyscraper doesn't even touch its knees. So it's like, if I were just to measure like the building in front to the entire castle, this castle has got to be several hundred floors high. Actually, at least 60, maybe not several hundred, depending on how tall these buildings are. But like, clearly, it freaking dwarfs the other buildings, you know? Ciel and I hurtle through the otherworldly night. I can guess where she's taking us. The school. Perhaps due to Roga's lingering influence, it manages to escape the hollowing assailing the rest of the city. I guess we're still going to the school? Alright, yeah, this looks relatively normal compared to the school. I mean, the rest of the non-school. We descend 20 meters to touch down on the sports field. It's midnight, so the grounds and buildings are deserted, but the site is still familiar enough to take comfort in. So, like, what happens to all the people? I think they said that you got sucked into the hole, like, so they kind of went into, like, a different dimension, and she kind of isolated Shiki and the rest of the town. But I'm kind of wondering if, like, she basically removed Shiki from reality, or she removed everyone else from reality and left Shiki in the background. I'm not exactly sure how the Marvel Phantasm works. Noel Phantasm with the reality marble makes a little bit more sense to me, but even then I still have like some questions about the displacement of place and how things work completely. The rest of the city, however, has been entirely stripped of color. How long can the school hold out? Will it eventually be swallowed by the vortex as well? Do not delude yourself. This refuge will not last. Another ancestor might resist her principle with her own, but my own meager bounded field has no such power. Her phenomenon conversion can stop even time. Or rather, it could not flatten the world without destroying time itself. It has converted the city into a metaphysical object that she may store away, leaving only the residue that is one with the planet. This is her power, the godlike authority to revert this planet into its primal days. Only one force in the city can resist its pull. Thanks for the exposition, Roa. Someone else's neutral impulses flashes behind my eyes. Damn it, I've got enough craziness to deal with out here in the real world. I don't need it in my head too. Get out of my head.
どこか怪我を？
いや、大丈夫。背骨がまだきしんでいるけど、すぐになれます。それより先輩はこれがどういう状況なのか理解できるんですか？
She lets go of my arm and looks back the way we came.
アルクエイド。いえ、見境をなくした神祖の機能が現れたのでしょう。神祖が本気で能力を発現するとき、世界の方が神祖に合わせた環境に切り替わる。
Oh, so this is what they did mention. True ancestors going berserk, and they needed Arcueid to kill them. And I guess this is the scale of what true ancestors are able to do. It's scary
この
shit.
土地は彼女の望む環境になるために一旦更地に戻されたようなものです。残ったのは町の残像だけ。現れている城壁は彼女が作り上げているものでしょう。
She basically took the layer of the world, removed it, or at least turned it invisible, and just started drawing on it.
そして元にあった町は不要な遺物として別の場所にしまわれてしまった。
That's how it works. Okay.
しまわれた。町ごと生き物全部。
So like, if I recall, Reality Marble kind of just takes things that you want to displace and puts it in a pocket dimension with you in it. So basically, you go to a different dimension and you're able to do whatever you want in that reality. But in this case, the Marble Phantasm, it is, I don't know, it's bending the laws of physics. Like, it's not even displacing. It's like, okay, we're gonna pocket this, we're gonna twist it in ways that don't really completely make sense, and she's just gonna be able to do whatever she wants with it. Right now, she just wants to not look at it, so she puts it away and puts kind of overlays it with what she likes to see. But I'm sure she could have done a whole bunch of other terrible things with it if she wanted to.
ええ。地表に生きる者は最近に至るまで全て。例外は彼女に異物として弾かれた遠野くんと障壁を張っていた私だけです。
Yeah, she put the worlds in her pocket and isolated Shiki so that he's alone, while Ciel was like, I have some defenses to this, so I can manage, kind of.
文字通り規格外の怪物ですね。このままでは世界が裏返る。そうなってしまったらこの町はもう取り戻せない。星の内海に収納された事象は二度とこちらに戻ってこられなくなりますから。
I still don't quite understand what the inner sea is. I've definitely heard it in a comment before when I questioned how this exact phenomenon works, the Marble Phantasm, and like where I think it was like, where does Arcueid's castle exist? Because clearly it's not in any place in the real world. But it's supposed to be. I don't really quite know what the inner sea is, to be completely honest. I just kind of accept it as a part of the earth that's just not traversable by human means. So like, I don't know if it's like another layer. I don't know if it's like a physical place that can still be accessed on our plane of existence, or if it's on another plane. Yeah. Shit, man, this is gorgeous. This looks so pretty. What Ciel's describing is on a scale beyond human comprehension. I don't even understand half of it. One thing is clear though, if Arcueid isn't stopped, things will get much, much worse.
はい。あの城が完成する前に真相を排除できなければ、この町は消え去ります。
排除。先輩はアルクエイドと戦うんですか？
Well, I don't want to. You see how scary she is?
それ以外に選択肢はないでしょう。
Yeah, we have to.
いえ、そもそも彼女の方からこちらにやってきます。遠野くんは校舎の中に入っていてください。
Arcueid's coming for us. Coming for me? But would she really kill me? Did you not hear her say, you'll pay for this? I do want to check the flowchart a little bit. So, okay, I'm still on track. And the world screamed. That's the name of the scene.
違う。それは違う。
No, Shiki, you kinda... I think you got this wrong. I mean, maybe Ciel has it wrong, but you definitely got it wrong too.
先輩、怒らないで聞いてください。
You're not gonna like this.
あいつは本当にいいやつで、さっきのは俺がやりすぎて血迷っているだけで、傷が治って落ち着けば。
無理ですね。その落ち着くまでの時間であなたが殺されていますし、この町も戻らなくなります。
Ciel's got a point. We saw in the last route that like when Shiki, sorry, literally the last character left, when Arcueid goes berserk, she is incredibly hard to stop, and she won't really, she kind of submits to her impulses. Like she didn't want Shiki to die, but she ended up killing Shiki because her rage kind of overtook her, and she kind of went on autopilot. But yeah, so right now she's not herself, or at least she's consumed by whatever impulse she has, and I think by the time she wakes up, she's gonna be dead because it's really hard to pull her out of it.
そもそも遠野くんの中にはロアがいる。アルクエイドにとって最も不要な吸血鬼を殺すことに戸惑いはないでしょう。今の彼女は血に飢えた吸血鬼と化しています。
No different to any other vampire.
あなたが知っているアルクエイドには遠野四季を殺すまで戻ってはくれないでしょう。
I almost object, but bite my tongue. She's right. I reflect on what I've seen tonight. The creature Arcueid has become cares only about killing me. Any hope of talking her down died back in the park. Well, that dialogue is also similar. Besides, this isn't just my fight anymore. So his very existence is hanging in the balance. Arcueid only lost control because of what I did to her. I know I shouldn't even consider this, but if I were to let her kill me, both Ciel and my hometown would.
遠野くん
She just hit me with the perfect flick to the shoulder blade. That actually felt kind of good. Did she hit a pressure point? Oh yeah, Ciel, do it to me again.
おかしなことは考えないように。真相がああなったのは自業自得ですし、あなたに責任はありません。
This entire route, Ciel's been like, yeah, this is all Arcueid's fault. It's just all her fault. You killed her and slashed her into 17 pieces. Her fault. Shouldn't have been there in the first place.
彼女はいずれ吸血衝動に負けることが確定していた。それが何年か早まってたまたまこの町で起きただけの話です。
That is actually true.
あれは悪魔の見えざるダイスのようなもの。人間である私たちは巻き込まれた後最善を尽くすしかないんです。
Every time we throw a dice, the number of sides gets smaller. And once we roll that nat 1, it's over. Ciel gazes up at the eastern sky.
でもやっぱりこうなる運命だったのかも。
No, this is not fate. This is Tsukihime.
遠野くんを守るためには彼女と決着をつけなくちゃいけなかった。
That is true, yeah.
彼女が活動していると そのしもべであるロアの意志も活性化するんです。遠野くんの中のロアを抑えるには、まず彼女を眠らせるか追い返す必要があった。ですからここで彼女を倒すのは一石二鳥です。
I don't know. In the other route, Arcueid died and Roa was still functioning 100%. So I don't know if that works. She takes my arm and runs towards a school building. Man, I know
遠
that
野くんは校舎に
Ciel...
待機していてください。彼女と戦うのは私の役割ですから。
I know that Ciel has like a decade's worth of experience as an executor, but sometimes I forget that she's still older than Shiki. She's at least like 25 at this point, but that's still very young to basically shoulder all of this. And I still kind of feel bad because like if she were like, I don't know, Arcueid's age, of course, you know, 100-year-old person in the body of like, I don't know, a high school student, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you can do this job. You've gone through this way too, like so many times. It's fine. But at the age of 25 and still being this, shouldering this much burden and responsibility, I just feel so bad for Ciel.
待ってください。先輩こそここで隠れていてください。あいつとは俺がケリをつけますから。
That's actually one reason why I'm also slightly, like, pretty sympathetic towards Akiha, because she's younger than us in this game. She's 16, I believe. Yet she's already head of the household, has so many businesses to run because it got passed down to her. She has to act all prim and proper, maintain her reputation, etc. And that's just a lot for someone that young. Maybe I'm just lazy, I don't know, but yeah.
遠野くん、私、怒りますよ。
Ciel glares daggers at me. He seems more exhausted than angry, though.
私の体のことは知っているでしょ。私は何があっても死にません。けど遠野くんは別です。確かにあなたの目ならアルクエイドを倒せるかもしれませんが、その前に彼女の爪があなたを殺します。
Hey, I'm fast too.
遠野くん、言ったじゃないですか。私を幸せにしてくれるって。
This is very, very similar, actually.
なら、お願いですからこんなところで死なないでください。
でも、先輩一人じゃあいつには。
見くびらないでください。私が今まで何体の使徒を仕留めてきたと思っているんですか？こと吸血鬼退治なら、私の右に出る者はいないのです。
We've gone. I'm getting a feeling of deja vu. Ciel strikes a confident pose. Funny. If her hands weren't trembling, I'd almost be convinced. She's scared? Even after the dozen vampires she's killed? But no, all that experience wouldn't really allay her fears. If anything, it just put her into perspective how much of a threat Arcueid truly is. I can't just do nothing. I can't leave her to fend for herself, even if it costs me my life. But before I can tell her as much, she presses a finger to my lip.
その先はそれこそ言っちゃダメです。お願いですから、私のわがままを聞いてください。
I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm surprised with this extremely broken power that Arcueid isn't able to like isolate Roa's soul and just take it. He's clearly able to isolate certain beings, but I guess maybe a soul is very different. It's not tangible. And technically, when you think about it, I don't even think it's Roa's soul, it's just like a program inside him, right? I think last ending, we actually, I don't know if it's confirmed, but there was a theory that was thrown around saying Roa is not even like a real being. It's just like a program that he's like implemented or copy pasted to other people. So like, I guess I'm surprised Arcueid's not able to handle the problem that much easier, you know, since she's so busted. But I guess it is a different skill set and I don't know the extent of her powers.
一度ぐらい、本当に一度ぐらい、私だけの意志であなたを守りたいんです。
I didn't actually notice before, but she's actually crying here.
そうしないと、私は遠野くんに心から笑顔を向けられなくなっちゃうじゃないですか。
I think I was too busy reading last time, but now since we've gone through this already, I'm more paying attention to the visuals. Tears well in her eyes as she speaks.
私がこんなに早く帰ってきたのはダメだったからなんです。トーノくんを助ける手段は教会にはありません。教会にあるものはロアを利用する方針だけで、転生体を助けようとする方法なんてなかったんです。あなたを失わずにロアだけを殺す手段なんてどこにも。
I see. If that's how it has to be, at least she tried. I should have known it would never be that easy.
でもそれはシエル先輩が泣くようなことじゃない。
いいえ、私がもっとしっかりしていれば、ロアを追うことばかり考えず、もっと他の道を探していれば、違う可能性だってあったはずなんです。
I know this is slightly different, but like so much of it is like the same. I kind of wish I could skip it.
もう私にできることは、ロアの侵食を少しでも遅くすることしかできない。苦しいって、トーノくんがどれだけ苦しいのか知っているのに、それでも少しでも長くそばにいてほしいって、そんな自分勝手なことばっかり考えてるんです、私は。
I don't want to watch her cry, so I pull her close where I can't see her tears.
トーノくん。
俺だってできるだけ一緒にいたい。先輩は自分勝手じゃないですよ。自分勝手なのは俺の方なんだから。それに先輩がしつこくロアを追いかけていたから今があるんじゃないですか。
That's true, yeah.
全部を取るなんてできない。こうして先輩と一緒にいられる今の代わりにロアを消す手段を作られても嬉しくない。そんなの全然欲求不満です。
でもそれじゃ。
勘違いしないで。俺ロアなんかに負けるつもりはこれっぽっちもありませんから。
Having bared my heart to Ciel, I've cooled down enough to remember what Arcueid said. It's a gamble, but I still have one last card to play.
ロアの相手は俺がします。自分のことですからね。けど確かに俺じゃアルクエイドを止められないんで、そっちは任せます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
Ciel's arms squeeze tight around my waist. I bring my lips to hers as we embrace, but there is no kiss because she backs off. But then she hops back like a startled rabbit.
キスはダメですよ。そんなことされたら私嬉しすぎて気が抜けちゃいます。
I don't know if that was the same line last time.
ですから今は抱き合うだけにしておきましょう。
だね。じゃあ少し離れてるけどピンチになったら呼んでください。
はい、信じています。あ、でもその必要はないですよ。本当に今日は切り札があるんです。
Oh, she has an
以
ace
前
up
の
her
ように
sleeve
はい
this
きませ
time.
ん。
She definitely didn't use that last time.
希望でも強がりでもなくアルクエイドは倒しきります。だから問題はその後です。
She's literally saying, nah, I'd win.
アルクエイドが消えればロアは全力であなたの体を支配しに来る。その時私には何もできないけどお願いします。私が戻ってくるまでどうかトーノくんのままでいてください。
Oh, I get it now. She's not even worried about Arcueid. It's like, I can handle that, but I can't handle Roa. Ciel might find Arcueid daunting, but she doesn't fear her. Only true fear, it seems, is losing me.
すごいな先輩は。
She'd win!
こ
She'd
の状況
win!
で勝利宣言とかどんだけ自信があるんですか。
Can I have some?
笑わないでください。真面目な切実なお話です。
I do have an idea of what her trump card would be, so I'm not gonna say it yet, but I have an idea.
もちろんおかげで安心できました。大丈夫、ロアには負けないって言ったでしょ。俺が勝てないのは先輩だけです。
I can handle him. I sent her off with the most confident smile I can muster. With a silent nod, she sets off towards the stairs, then stopped as though she suddenly remembered something.
待ってください。
Wait, take this.
何？ 忘れ物？
はい。明日になったら街に遊びに行きましょう。乾くんと3人で、この前のやり直しをするんです。
Oh, she says it in one sentence this time instead of two. Last time I was like, wait, you didn't say Inui. Her smile warms me from the inside. Thank goodness. Our promise really did mean something to her after all.
それじゃあ、約束。
It's a date with a third wheel. I offer her a handshake.
はい。今度はちゃんと守ってくださいね。
Ciel's fingers brush against mine. She shakes my hand vigorously, and then withdraws.
遠野くんは校舎から出ないように。でも危険だと判断したら、校庭か体育館に移動してください。
Her deep blue habit vanishes up the stairs. This time, she's gone for good. Whoa! Far in the distance, deep within the transfigured city, comes a rumbling tremor. Huh, what's she gonna do? Last time she just barreled in like a freaking missile. But this time, I don't know. The sound of the air groaning, of the world screaming. Towards its heart, she flies to face her foe. Oh! No, this time Ciel's approaching. The pale vampire princess, a cataclysm given form. Alright, I'm just gonna check the flow chart. Okay? So we're gonna be in the school. We're gonna have that little internal conflict, I think, with Roa. A single living soul races through the ashen cityscape. The ruins around her, bereft of color, serve only to mark where the buildings once stood. I feel like in this case, they usually have the lines on the side to indicate that we're in Ciel's POV. On the roof of one such massive rock, a literal shell of its former self, she alights. Damn, she was already dressed. She casts aside her habit. The impending battle will serve no humanitarian cause. I wonder why she didn't wear this last time. Or maybe she did, but we just couldn't see it because she had her habit covering her the entire time. She will wage all-out war until her foe is eradicated. Her weapon awaits her in its naked form, shining with a dark gleam. The being of the same stuff as Arcueid, it did not escape her phenomenal conversion so much as it was naturally unaffected to begin with. This is the 7th thing, right?
移動させておいて正解でしたね。仕掛けますよ、セブン。
Yep, 7.
断罪師への感想を済ませなさい。
Execution mode. The weapon has a will of its own. Damn, it's actually animated. In answer, the object begins to mutate. 2 firearms, a gun fitted with a bayonet, a greatsword, a suit of armor, and at last, a siege ballista. 6 different weapons fuse into one tangle of metal. This is a true form of the 7th Holy Scripture, the anti-vampire armament carrier built around the sacrament of the cornucanto, the horn of a unicorn.
ブレイズ、ブレイド、ブレイクを補助武装として合成。
Combine the first, third, and fourth cause of death.
使用弾頭はコーノカント反応光から劣化ウラン弾に変更。テキストスロットは転生期半分から新薬転式に書き換え。
I'm not gonna lie, this terminology is going into one ear and out the other. I'm just gonna be like, okay, yeah.
あ、照準は手動形式に。自動では彼女に気づかれる。
I want that shit manual. Ciel looks down at the bulldozed city as she issues her commands. Oh, there she is. She's still lying down there. Her target is at a distance of 500 meters in the park where she left her. Arcueid is still in the process of regenerating. She is slumped over on the ground, unmoving. Her back appears entirely vulnerable. Any ordinary executor would not hesitate to capitalize on this chance. But
まったく。
never mind.
騙し討ちもいいところですね。
Yeah, she's like, yeah, that's a bait.
チャンスと見て仕掛ければ、仕掛けた方が追い詰められる。甘い蜜で誘ってパクリとか、食虫植物ですか。
The slick red mirror on the ground grows ever wider. Arcueid's transformation is entering its final stage. Ciel knows through bitter experience that this silence is but the calm before the storm.
蘇生中の守りは万全。下手に傷つければ存在規模が跳ね上がってさらに手に負えなくなる。ここで倒しきるなら仕掛けるのはまだ早い。
I wonder what's the point that she has to wait until. The church! Ciel has long served enough at the Burial Agency to be considered a veteran executor. While she has never personally fought a fallen true ancestor, that is, one driven mad by vampiric impulses, she has simulated such a battle. The church has clashed with the true ancestor royalty several times in the past, and the records of their victories still remain. While the documents are centuries old and their relevance to modern-day executors is limited, some principles remain timelessly applicable. Face thy foe in overwhelming numbers. Establish thy foe's guilt beyond question. Ensure thine arms and men are equal to thy foe. Well, we don't have overwhelming numbers. Face thy foe armed with the newest iron. Begin the battle only in civilization's bosom. That is happening, or technically not anymore because Arcueid ripped away the civilization. For better or for worse, she currently satisfies about half of those criteria. So we don't have overwhelming number. The guilt thing, I think maybe? Ensure thine arms and men are equal to thy foe. Technically that's right. It's weird that they have like ensure the arms and men are equal to thy foe. I guess that means power levels. I thought that meant number of people, but then the first one says overwhelming numbers. So I guess the third one applies. The fourth one applies because she has the best gear. The last one is like, depends on your interpretation. So you could say that she satisfies half of them, yeah. Alone, she hardly constitutes as overwhelming numbers, but at least she is her foe's equal. Yep. That is the most important factor to consider when confronting a true ancestor. Individual capability. When fighting their own squabbles, humans appoint able leaders to transform unremarkable troops into fighting forces, but such an approach will not work against this oldest and greatest of vampires.
他の大校舎を気にする必要はない。ここにいるのは私だけなんです。
The thought is equal parts liberating and terrifying. With no allies to cover her, the slightest mistake will spell defeat. But now she doesn't have to hold back.
それと例の戒めですか。
Within the church's extensive battle records, she found a particularly cryptic footnote, unique in its intent as a warning to the reader. After stabilizing the vessel, ensure it is empty at all costs. What vessel? She still cannot make heads or tails of it. Even casting her mind back to her memories as Roa, she can find no hint as to what this vessel might be. Okay, thank you. Nor what emptying it might entail.
普通に考えれば魔力を全て使わせろですが。
However, for a true ancestor royalty, especially Arcueid, purest of them all, there is no such thing as running out of magical energy. In which case, the statement would resolve to the first weaken your foe. Why would such a significance be placed on such an obvious device? Oh no! But she has no time to dwell on decrypting scripture.
来た。
She's here. If Arcueid's phenomenon containment reshapes the world according to her personal desire, this is a really cool shot. Usually the choices make sense why there's a difference between like doing it or not doing it. I can still kind of see the reason for it, which is why I'm like not too upset. But like, it feels weird that like that choice he made, it felt very slight, but the effect, freaking butterfly it affected, it led into something completely different. She too is reshaped according to the world's desires. The true ancestors are the Earth's own sense of touch. They derive their power from the planet itself, with a capacity equal to the sum of its resources. Thus, to do battle with a true ancestor is to do battle with the very ground on which they stand. And Shiki was like, I'ma kill the ground! Of all these formidable beings, Arcueid Brunstad possesses the highest authority. So as long as she remains her connection to the planet, she truly knows no limits. Unlimited magical energy, unlimited physical strength, and powers that only grow in magnitude. Such is the privilege of the one who wears the royal name Brunstead. Ordinarily, she would be bound by the dress code dictating her activities as a true ancestor, prohibiting her from bearing her true form. Oh fuck, she has a true form? This isn't her true oh god. True ancestors are extensions of the earth itself. Unlike the human race, the notion of using the planet's resources for their own benefit could not occur to them. When Arcueid goes to battle, she is granted precisely the strength and abilities required to eradicate her foe, and no more. As the planet's avatar, she has a duty to minimize her strain on its reserve. I guess that does make sense. Countless dead apostles and fallen true ancestors have met their deaths at the hand of her singular might. Who could blame them? She outmatched them by definition. Empowered by the earth on which they dwelled, to incur her wrath is to face certain death. However, her power has a sole weakness, which, if exploited, will decide the battle in Ciel's favor. You know that with all this thinking... You know with all this thinking that Ciel has a plan and it's not gonna work. Whenever an anime character tells you what they're thinking before they do it, and it's like this plan of how to beat XYZ, it is not gonna work. She must end it with a single strike. Only once Arcueid's physical vessel has stabilized, certain that it has the highest combat parameters in the area, should Ciel rain down overwhelming firepower to wipe her from the face of the earth. Ah, I see. So basically, if Ciel attacks now, Arcueid is in the process of regenerating. She probably has like the energy from the earth, so she would not die. She would just continue regenerating. But then it would indicate to the earth that like, oh crap, this being strong, you need more power. We're gonna power you up even more. And that's the thing that's stopping Ciel from attacking. She's like, if I attack and I don't kill her, which is very, very possible due to the fact that she's regenerating and currently is connected to the earth, she is going to get much, much stronger. Her strategy is simplicity itself. The execution, however, is nearly beyond the realms of human ability.
この領域にいる以上、私の力はもう測られている。蘇生を終えた時、私と第七聖典の合計値を基準に力の上限を変えてくる。それがあなたにとって最大の弱点です。アルクエイド・ブリュンスタット。
Ciel finalizes her battle plans and takes a deep breath. She can envision a clear path to victory. Her task is now to wrest it into being. She must survive the coming gauntlet long enough to lure her enemy into checkmate. To her surprise, she finds herself afraid. She had thought such emotions lost with her mortality. Arcueid, however, could subject her to any number of fates worse than death. If she were to be plunged into that swirling vortex of phenomena, there would be no way back. Ciel would be trapped within Arcueid's shadow, powerless to influence the following catastrophe she wreaks upon the world. And she would be forced to watch the vampire devour the man she loves in rabid bloodlust. She can imagine no greater fear, no greater regret. She estimates her chance of victory at less than 30%. If at any point her plans go awry, Arcueid will kill her in an instant. The executor breathes in and raises her head. Where once she sought death, she now fears it. Now that she has found a reason to carry on. This is what it means to live. She would chew through solid rock if she must. Arcueid's resurrection reaches completion. Why does she sound like a machine? Oh, never mind. This is the machine. We get to see Ciel's ultimate form. I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at though. The seventh holy scripture finalizes its transformation. Ciel takes up the siege ballista and channels every ounce of her magical energy into it. The seventh cause of death. Whoa! It's a bow! Death by execution. The Holy Scripture stirs with the power to shatter a soul. Damn, that's kind of cool. We're medieval back up in here. You thought you were gonna shoot? I thought it was gonna be a rifle, I'm not gonna lie. But no, it's an old-fashioned bow and arrow. Ciel looks once at her target and then closes her eyes. I kinda wanna see this. It really looks like, alright, we're gonna get all these pieces together and then like wrap it around and yeah, we're good to go. One glance was enough to establish a trajectory. She need only look again when it comes time to fire. She switches to manual targeting precisely to avoid aiming at Arcueid until the very last moment. Locking on for so much as a second would alert her foe to her presence. Should that happen, the battle would be as good as over. The only choice is to track Arcueid through her subconscious. Yeah, it's like the in the anime, it's like, I sense someone staring at me. I sense their murderous intent. The notion borders on absurdity. The nature of marksmanship is to cease breathing, become one with the weapon, predict the target's movement, and follow them by eyesight. Observation of one's prey from outside their effective range is not only a necessary condition, but the hunter's greatest advantage. One that is lost to Ciel. Instead, she is attempting to perform a long-range execution on a target she cannot see or even sense. How is this any different from firing wildly into the hip, from the hip? The answer lies in the weapon. Her great bow is no simple trigger-operated machine. It is the root of a spirit tree, feeding on Ciel's magical energy to grow up to monstrous proportions. Even now, half of her nervous system is devoted to stabilizing the forces swelling within the frame. The other half is spent restraining the gospel intoned by its surging magical energy. I kind of wonder why, like, the surging magical energy, Arcueid should be able to detect that, right? Someone's literally, like, building up a nuke. She mentally tracks her dwindling magical energy reserves, while holding her bow in check with sheer muscle as it bulks in her hand like a raging bull. Bucks, sorry. Simply maintaining her stance is a feat of extraordinary precision, an act of formidable control. It is akin to firing a battleship cannon on her own, performing every step with her bare hands. A split second before release, she exhales long and slow. Nerve she feels, but not doubt. Her maximum firing power is 5 kilometers, firing range. Next to that, a 500-meter shot is no mere challenge than threading a bullet through the eye of a needle. Damn! She can fire from 5 kilometers? Okay. Through her glove, she feels the weight of the bow down onto the ground. She takes note of the wind direction, her own physical condition, the rhythm of her heart. Minute adjustments to her muscle fibers account for each. Oh, now! Whoosh! Animation! Whoa! And like that, Soya has been nuked. In that moment, a true miracle graced this world. She, whom the Holy Church... Oh! They did call her that, I frickin' forgot! She, whom the Holy Church called their bow. She, whom even the Bureau Agency, that Devil's Den, thought an anomaly, unleashes her magnum opus. 0.2 pass from draw, to hold, to release. Death-given flight pierces the true ancestor's skull before its messenger even registers it leaving her hand. Such an unexpected upset, Arcueid could never accept. It looked like her head deflected it. After all, she held the world in her grasp. She had been preoccupied, drawing on the planet's life force to replenish what her vessel lost when its throat was cut. Yet, even as she laid motionless, she saw it all. She watched 2 humans scurry away like insects, watch one climb a high tower, watch it produce a poisoned needle, measure its strength, and gouge to the threat it posed. Oh, even though she was recovering, she was very, very aware of what they were doing. The instant she moved, it would answer her. So she believed, in truth, the distant gnat emitted no telltale surge of hostility. Thus she chose to wait. Depleted with power, she severed her connection to the planet and stepped forward to welcome the coming sport. In that moment came the bolt from the blue. The arrow punched through her head, not as her foot left the ground, but as the impulse was hatched into her brain. An arrhythmic shot of incomparable skill launched from the subconscious of a peerless marksman. Arcueid may be the planet's own self, but she is not a god. As long as her foe is human, she cannot be fully divine. Her consciousness remained undefended, but now the bow of the church has shorn it away. Gotta do it again! She cocks the hammer, pulls back the bowstring. The hit to the true answer's head did not fell her, nor did Ciel intended to. Really? I thought she fully intended it to. Never mind. She's like, okay, Arcueid's like, I knew that you would fire the arrow. It's like, I knew that you knew you would fire the arrow. She first targeted Arcueid's conscious mind. Now she will destroy the true answer's body before she regains the capacity for thought. Such is her path to victory. 2 shots, not 1. If Ciel had poured all of her strength into a single arrow, Arcueid would surely have detected it, subconsciously aimed or no. For her first shot, she had to compress her magical energy into the finest motion in the briefest moments. Her plan has only one potential flaw, the possibility that her target never relied on thought, having abandoned reason for brute savagery. Her mind is as immaculate as the driven snow. Oh, she's gone! Didn't need to think. Ciel's reflexes kick in before she can think. Hello there! The 500 meter between them are worth nothing. Holy shit. In the blink of an eye, the beautiful beast is on her. He's my boy! So I think Ciel still manages to fire it. And she's like, oh, fuck. Ciel drops the twisted remains of her bow. Breathing heavily, she peers down from the edge of the roof to assess Arcueid's condition. Her second shot made it by the hair's breadth. Fired from almost point-blank range, it sends Arcueid crashing back to the earth. You stay down there, motherfucker. It was not, however, the coup de grace that she would hope for. Yeah. All she did was line up the sights and blindly release the bowstrings. It was pure chance that her arrow hit the mark. And even then, it only landed a glancing blow. That one shot housed all of her magical energy. Oh no, she's empty. But it merely repelled Arcueid where it had struck home. It should have annihilated her. It's the 30%. She missed the 30%. Ciel catches her breath at last and retrieves her weapon. Mangled by Arcueid's claw, the ballista is no longer of use to her. She'll have to rely on her remaining armaments, her assault rifle, the first cause of death, and her stake driver, a combination of the third and fourth. Her magical energy reserves have all but run dry. If an ordinary mage can generate 20 units of magical energy, Ciel can generate 5,000. She poured every last drop of her formidable reservoir into one single shot and missed. The mental toll of the arrow is incalculable. Far below, the true ancestor picks herself up from the wreckage of collapsed buildings. For a moment, Ciel's courage fails her. It's hopeless. This fight is hopeless. Just run. There's got to be another way. Something you haven't tried. Death is terrifying enough, let alone what Arcueid could do to you. So just run. There's still time. Do it now. Take his hand and run for all you're worth. Not this time. He's my boy. Steeling herself in the face of death, Ciel unveils her final gambit. Okay, so what I wasn't sure if her final secret trump card was going to be the 7 or it was going to be what I think this is probably going to be. She still has Vlov's idea blood, and she's actually killed several ancestors before. So she has several idea bloods at the very least, to my knowledge. We know that she has like the barrier one, but I think she's out of that because she used it on Arcueid and it failed, and she said that she ran out of charges. But she still has access to, at the very least, Vlov's. So I think she's going to use Idea Blood. She retrieves the apple concealed in her stake driver. A pulsing red flute glistens like a congealed blood. This is the last vestige of... Yes! I think that's it. Yeah, this is the last vestige of Vlov's Archangel's curse. His Idea Blood. His blight upon the world made manifest.
グローブの原理は育ちきっていない。これを口にしても新しい大魔術は編み出せない。
I do kind of wonder what the other Idea Blood she's consumed are, because she's killed at least 3.
けれど
Even in this formless state, it can still be used as fuel. Oh wow. I don't know. It feels like, you know, in Dark Souls when you get a boss soul and you can convert it into a weapon or a really cool spell. And sometimes it's not like super useful, but it's like unique. But you can also use the boss soul as just like a bunch of souls. It always feels bad to use it like that because like you miss out on something that could have been unique. And here she's like, I'm not going to use the principle of what this Idea Blood can do. I'm just going to use it as fuel. And it's kind of like understandable, but man, that kind of sucks because it could have been something super special. Three principles stir to life within Ciel's flesh. Yeah, okay, 3 principles. With Vlov's Idea Blood acting as her new reactor core, her magical energy rapidly replenishes. Maybe she can still use his ability later. It's just that she consumed it, so in order to get more power. She will pay the price later when the shock catches up with her body. It will be a further step on her fall from human to monster.
Set. Code. Garugari.
She raises her hand to the highest heavens. If that is a cost, I'll pay it gladly, she thinks, as she leaps into the night. Dust rises from the gorge between the buildings ahead. One last hell to brave, where all that awaits is death and a pale vampire's sneer.
グローブの原理が燃え尽きるまで3分弱。
Wow, 3 minutes, okay.
せめてそれまでは持たせてみせる。
Trailing excess magical energy like a stream of blood, the executor plunges into her final battle. I'm kind of confused. If 3 minutes until Vlov's principle expires, why does she want it to expire? That I don't quite get. Okay, I think we're probably gonna go with Shiki's POV. Nope, never mind. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop here. We're on the route for the true route, it seems. And well, you can see Arcueid's face. That's not too much of a spoiler. Oh my god, even reading this. Impact, the town melts away, leaving only Shiki and me, and one bothersome pest. Oh man. Oh, Arcueid's so scary in Ciel's ending. But yeah, we did cover, we're finally in the true route, apparently. And yeah, we get to see like Ciel at full power. I know like Ciel's been like really strong for several of the fights that we've seen so far, but now she's actually at like true power. I do kind of wonder how much stronger Ciel would have been if she was able to extract the Idea Blood from Noelle, because Noelle had several Idea Bloods in her, I believe. That's the injection that she used to power up, and clearly Ciel's able to handle it much better, but it still comes at a cost. So, but it seems like yeah, we're gonna continue with the true Ciel route next time, and until then, I will be seeing you. See ya.